Hey, I'm Mark and this is how to play Indian Rummy. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified about new games every week. Indian Rummy is a game for 2 or more players. If you are playing with 2 to 6 players, you will need 2 full decks and 2 jokers, as well as a way to keep score. If you're playing with more than 6 players, you're going to have to add a 3rd deck and a 3rd joker. Begin the game by having the player sitting to the right of the dealer choose a card at random from the deck. All cards of that rank are wild for this hand. Next, the dealer deals 13 cards to each player, and then places the remaining deck on top of the wild card indicator. This wild card is not part of the game. It is just there to remind all of the players which cards are wild. Remember, there are joker cards in this game too. Those cards are also wild. Finish setting up by flipping the top card from the draw pile over to form the discard pile. Next, players need to organize their hands by rank and by suit. Since this is a rummy game, players are trying to form sets and runs. Since we're playing with 2 decks, those look a little different in Indian Rummy. So let's take a moment to review what a set and a run looks like. A run is a sequence of numbers in order and of the same suit. So in this example, our runs are in the club's suit. Here we have a run of 5, 6, and joker. This is allowed because the jokers are wild. You could also use any of the other wild cards. Here on the left is what's called a natural run. There are no wilds involved. A natural run is required to end the hand, so you need to know how to form those. Up top we have examples of sets. On the right is a set of aces using a wild, and on the left is a natural set with no wilds. In this example, if the 3s were wild, this would still count as a natural run because the 3 is being used correctly. It's not being used as a wild card. This is an example of an illegal set. You cannot form a set with 2 cards of the same suit. So these 2 kings cannot be put in a set together. Play begins with the player to the left of the dealer choosing to draw a card from the top of the draw pile or the discard pile. They can choose to keep that card or discard it. Play passes to the next player and they choose to draw off the top of the draw pile or the top of the discard pile. They keep the card if they wish and then end their turn by discarding. There's one more special rule that makes this game a little unique. In India, this game is often played for money, so players have the option to sit a hand out if they don't like the cards that they're dealt. This is called packing. If a player does not like their cards, they can choose to pack. They can only do this at the beginning of their turn before they draw a card. If a player packs on their very first turn, those cards are shuffled and placed on the bottom of the draw pile. But if a player packs later in the game, their cards are placed off to the side and they are not used. Packing is a strategy players use in order to keep their losses low. That way they don't have to pay out as much money. Play like this continues around the table until one of the players can go rummy. Basically, going rummy means having all 13 of your cards in sets or runs. But there are a few special rules that have to be followed to go rummy. In order to go rummy, a player must have at least 1 natural run. So that's a sequence like 2, 3, 4 in the same suit with no wild cards. A player must also have a 2nd run. The rest of the cards can either be in runs or sets. Once a player accomplishes this, they discard their final card face down, say rummy, and lay down their hand. Now that the hand is over, it's time to tally up the score. In this game, aces are worth 11. Face cards and 10s are worth 10 points. And the rest of the cards are worth their value. Wild cards are worth 0. When a player goes rummy, they earn points based on what their opponents have in their hand. If an opponent has a natural run, those cards are removed, and then the winner gets points for all the other cards in his hand. If a player has a natural run and a 2nd run, both of those are removed, and any other cards that are part of a set or a run are also removed. So in this example, the winning player would only earn 19 points. If a losing player does not have a natural run, then the player who goes rummy will earn points for every single card in that player's hand. It does not matter if it's part of a set or a run that has a wild in it. The player earns points for every single card. Players earn 10 points for anybody who packed at the beginning of the hand, and 40 points for anybody who packed any other time during the hand. After keeping score, the next player deals. Once everyone at the table has dealt, the game is over and the player with the highest score wins. Hey, if you found this video helpful, I just want to take a moment to invite you over to the Clubhouse on Patreon. There, members get early access and special access to all kinds of content, including videos and print-offs and digital downloads. We're doing it all. And most excitingly, if we hit 100 members, we will start hosting tournaments. I want to hold tournaments online for different kinds of card games, including Hearts and Euchre and Gin. And of course, award prizes to the winners. And there are all types of goals that I'm trying to hit with the channel. So if you want to be part of that, hop on over to my Patreon. Links down in the description. All of your support is appreciated.